Ladies and gentlemen, today I'll be showing you how to complete Kowakujo Easter egg with this very simple guide. I will try my best to explain every detail about this Easter egg as it is very tedious and there is a lot of steps. So, no further ado, let's get into this. We are starting the Easter egg guide at the point of killing the elite zombie to open the door for the Pack-a-Punch. When you've done that, interact with the world seed and the Pack-a-Punch will spawn. Now go back down the stairs and there will be a glass shard on the floor. Pick it up and on the shelf near it will be a piece of paper. Now we are building the cat wonder weapon. Go back to spawn in this location near stamina. There will be a bell. The second location for the bell is in the stables here on this piece of wood, and the third location is near melee macchiato above the wall buy hanging right here. Interact with it to pick it up. Now hopefully at the point of playing Black Ops 7 you've got at least Perkholic. Pop the Perkholic to make life much easier for yourself. You need to purchase PhD Flopper and then go back to the castle. There is a cage hanging up. Dolphin dive below it to cause an explosion. The cage will drop. Pick it up and then go to the closest lava pit to throw the cat into the lava. There will be 3 locations for the cat statue. The first location is here in the kitchen on the barrel right here. The second location is on the other side of the kitchen on this barrel here as well. And the third one is next to Speed Cola on this barrel in the jail cell. Now for the last part of the cat, you need to head back to the castle. Here are the 3 locations. The one is here above the basement. The second one is behind the mask wall, you can see here. And then the third location next to this basket here on the floor. Once you've got all pieces, go to the table next to Vulturade and to craft the cat bomb, then pick it up. There are 4 locations that you need to kill zombies to spawn paw prints. The first location for the paws is right here near Juggernog. The second one is at stables. The third location is outside the training area, and the fourth location is near the wooden bridge in the doorway between the trap. All you need to do is kill at least 1 zombie in this correct spot for the paws to spawn. Now, at least 1 or 2 meters in front of where the direction of the paws is heading, kill another zombie until you are at the end and you can see a circle of paws. Now with the item you've just crafted, throw it down into the circle and then the cat will fly out of the lava into the circle and then the abomination will spawn. You have to kill the abomination, then the cat will run off. Now go to the next round. There are 2 to 3 locations where the cat can be sleeping. With this, you need depth perception. The locations are in the kitchen area. What you need to do is slowly walk on the wood and not on the lit up ones, as they will scare the cat, as you can see on the screen if done correctly. Also, to save you money, I have just seen by Scotty Dog, if you get close to the wood and quickly dolphin dive onto the cat, you can pick it up and do it free that way. Thank you, Scotty Dog, for that one. Much appreciated. Once you've got the cat, go to Pack-a-Punch and place it onto the world seed. Now melee it. Pulses will happen. That will cause you to lose health. If you want, wait for the pulses to finish to melee it, or if you're in a rush, just quickly melee it 3 times to finish this segment. Then the cat will drop on the floor, and there you go, you have built the cat wonder weapon in Kowakujo. Let's carry on with the Easter egg. Now head to the stables. Hopefully the lava is dried. There'll be an item sticking out of the rock. With your lethal Molotov or a grenade, throw it at the item and it will fire out the ground onto the side. Then pick the item up off the floor. You will now need to shoot 10 pillars. This is the easiest way to shoot the 10 pillars, but of course you are on a time limit and make sure not to miss one, otherwise you have to go to the next round to redo this again. So the best location to start is at the castle. As you can see on the screen, I will show you the route to follow for this step. Once you've shot all 10 pillars, go back to the stairs of Pack-a-Punch and there will be a cutscene. Interact with it to watch the cutscene. Make sure every time you've collected 1 or 2 of the items, go to the evidence room near Vulturade to place the parts on the shelf to activate more steps of the Easter egg. Now go to the roof of the castle and use the glider. While you're gliding, make sure you go to the right path, and then just as you get to this part of the roof, tap your interact button to pick up the mask on the roof, as you can see right here. Now go back to the castle and place the mask on the mask wall. This becomes a very tedious, Simon says. So the first phase is you have to remember 3 of the masks. The second phase, you have to remember 4 of the masks. And in the 5th stage, you have to remember 5 of the masks. So each of the stages you need to kill in order the zombies that spawn with that correct mask. And if you fail it, you have to go to the next round. Once you've finished this step, a cutscene will happen. Then you need to follow the spirit to the 3 locations for some items. The first location is on the left through this doorway next to the stairs. The mask is on the shelf, shoot it, and it will drop a part. The second location is upstairs on the roof, up above this beam right here. Shoot the mask to drop an item. The next location is just outside of the window where elemental poppers. Shoot it to get the part. Now put all the items in the evidence room. We are now doing the vegetation painting. So head back to the kitchen, and on the shelf right here will be a little basket. Melee the basket to drop a green plum. Jump on the plum 3 times to show a pip. Now head to the garden, and in this little area below the bridge, there'll be a purple flower. Look very carefully. I know it's quite hard to find, but you'll get there. Once you found it, pick it up. To grow the plant, you need to go to the training area, and just on this beam right here, with your charge shot of your wonder weapon, shoot at this part to drop the bag. Hopefully this part of the step of the Easter egg, a certain area of the map will become ashy and toxic. With the bag that you've just got, you need to spend a minute in there to collect ash to fill it up. Keep going through the rounds until a certain area of the map will become ash. Once your bag is filled up, go to the castle, and next to this exfil point there will be a pot. Interact with it to grow the plant. With your melee, go to the stamina room, and there'll be a tree here. Melee the tree 4 times until your screen is glowing. Make sure not to get hit by zombies, as you'll have to do this step again. With the glow, go to the pot, go near the pot, and with a circle motion with your character, go around to cause a tornado. Once done correctly, a tornado will spawn and the pots will glow pink. Pick up the pot, put the items in the evidence room. Let's do another painting. Look around at the box locations. If there is a piece of wood on one of them, move the box to that location, or pop your immolation liquidation. Then throw your cat bomb at the box, then spin the box. It will then land on a pouch. If you fail it, you can redo the step again. Pick up the pouch and then go to the spawn location and then interact to cause a cutscene. Head to the training room. This is the best location for a bucket spawn. On the shelf just in this little room here, and there'll be a water source outside. Interact with the water source and slowly walk to the garden area where the bridge is and interact with 3 plants on the path. If you run out of water, you can run back to this location to pick up more water to water the plants. And then the third location is just outside near the gubble gun machine. Interact with the plants. A gardener will spawn and 2 glowing plants will show. At least shoot one of the plants to damage it, and then quickly kill the gardener to drop some shears. Remember, every zombie like this you kill, make sure to pick up the item and the piece of paper and then put the items in the evidence room. So now you've done that, go back to the kitchen. Next to this arsenal machine, there will be a little basket with ripened plums. Melee the basket for it to drop on the floor. Now run away and come back within 2 or 3 minutes, or till the end of the next round, and there will be a zombie eating the plum. Now you need to take the zombie to the stamina room, and please watch where I kill the zombie, because if you do it wrong, you have to go to the next round to do this again. Where I shoot on the floor is the exact point you need to kill the zombie. Then another zombie from the window in front will spawn to try and grab the plum on the floor. On the floor. What is this stuff? This sounds so stupid. Now go to the training area and craft 3 decoys. Just outside, throw the decoys at these 3 windows. A zombie with a hat on will spawn in, and then it will throw grenades at you. You need to grab the grenades and throw the grenades at it to kill it. This will drop the hat part. Remember, pick up the item and the paper it drops. Then take it to the evidence room. Go downstairs, and behind the mask wall, there'll be a scroll puzzle. I don't know how to describe this. I'm not that smart, but I'm sure some of you are. but there will be a link in the description showing you how to do this very, very easily. To start this puzzle, shoot the stick in the middle and then do the rest. Once you've done it correctly, all the scrolls will start flicking out and then the stick will fly out from the middle and drop 2 parts on the floor. Pick them up and put them in the evidence room. Once you've done that, go to the kitchen and interact with this bowl. You could either use brain rot on your gun or the explosion upgrade on your cat wonder weapon. This needs toxic souls. Kill the zombies to fill up the bowl. A cutscene will happen. Then on your left in the cupboard, there will be a pufferfish. Pick it up and then take it to the evidence room. A pitcher will spawn on the wall if done correctly. In the bowl of the pitcher, there'll be a broken piece of glass. Pick it up. Then go down to the pottery room and interact with the table to craft a bowl. Go to the next round. A cutscene will happen. There are 3 locations you need to put the pot down and protect it. These will also spawn items. So the first location is near Elemental Pop or Pack-a-Punch on this piece of wood here. Place it down and protect it. This first location will drop a horse. The second location will be outside on the roof. As you see on the wood, place it down, protect it, and a brush will spawn. The third location is where you picked up the bucket near the training area. Place it down, protect it, and now a strong dog will spawn and run very fast around the map. Find the dog with the audio and then kill the dog to drop the tea brush. Then put all the items in the evidence room. As you put all the items on the shelf, the ground will shake. That's because down in the basement of the castle, the rocks around the clock would have moved. Go down, interact with the clock, and it will give you a 4-digit number. Please write down the numbers as it is very important for this step. Once you've got the 4-digit code, go to either the next round or the round after that for a assault wave to spawn. Go to it and kill all the flag and complete the assault wave. Now go to the stamina room. There will be flags in the area. Head to the stamina room. There will be flags. Each of the flags will have a number of symbols on them. All you need to do is match your code. For example, if your first number was 5, if one of the flags is 5, use that. Or if you have 2 flags that add up to 5, and then take the flags to the first location. So for example, if the second number was 3, you can take a 3 number, or you can take a 2 and a 1 to make 3, and then take that to the second location. I'm hoping I'm explaining it right, but here are the 4 locations that you need to put the flags to make your number correctly. So the first one is near Whip's Tea. The second location is next to the big tree in the middle of the map. The third location is in the stables here, right here next to the building. And then the fourth location is in Spawn. But of course, each of these locations are different every game, so make sure to look before placing the flags down. You have no audio prompt whatsoever that you've done it correctly. Go to the clock, interact with it, and it will give you a medallion. And if you've failed, you have to go to the next round to redo it again. Once you put all items in the evidence room, you need to put 5 of them in front of the pictures. Every single game, the first picture will have the comb, and the 5th picture on the right will always have the medallion. This bit will become a little bit difficult because you need to figure out what are the correct items for the rest of the pictures in the middle. So the second picture, you need to go and set off a trap. For me, the better trap, the one in the garden area where the bridge is. Set off the trap and let the ghosts kill zombies. Quickly run upstairs and interact with the spirit that spawned. Make sure you've got subtitles on because he will give you the correct person and that will match up with a item. And of course, the prompt on the screen right now will help you out figuring out what is the correct item. And of course, if it is the wrong one, you can go through the next round and test it out again. So with the third painting, you need to interact with the first piece of paper on the evidence wall. Read the description. If any of the description have the word plant, emesis, or paralysis, you need to match it up with the correct item. But of course, the prompt on the screen will help you out. It's either one of the 2 items shown. And of course, if you fail it, you can go to the next round. And the fourth painting, the prompt on the screen shows you the correct one. So for example, if you have the mountain, it's the horse statue. If you have the bird, it is the brush. And if you have the fish, it is the tea whisk. Once you've got all 5 items in front of the paintings interact with the first paper on the wall. Also, you got to remember the third item you put in the picture. For me, it was pufferfish because that was more descriptive in the cause of death. So remember pufferfish and also the time of death. So my one was hair. Killed the person was the pufferfish and the time of death was the hair. Okay, go to the fifth paper and look at the item it says and the hour it took to kill the person. So for me, it was the hour of the hair, and what killed the person was the pufferfish. So for Emesis, it took within 3 hours. So the hair on the dial behind you, you need to look at the hair symbol, but also take 3 hours before the hair picture because it took within 3 hours. So the death happened in the hair hour, minus 3 hours from the hair symbol, and that would be the correct symbol. So for me, it was the rat. And if you've done correctly, interact with the 2 tables around the picture and a orb will spawn. Chat, hopefully I described that properly. If I didn't, rewatch that a little bit again to fully understand what I just said. Once the orb has spawned, follow it to the world seed and then interact it to purify it. You will now be taken to the middle of the map. You need to defeat the elite boss. Defeat the elite boss, then it will disappear. You need to shoot the masks that are flying around the map. It is very hard to shoot, but make sure to get your aiming on point, shoot the masks, and then the elite will spawn again and then kill it. Then you'll be taken back to the world seed again to where the dragon will spawn. Of course, chat, your gobble gums, your perks, your pack-a-punch all readied up. And of course, if you've got spare perkaholics and if you feel afraid, at least equip a spare perkaholic. So if you do go down in the boss fight, you could just pop a perkaholic when needed. When ready, interact with the glider and you will be taken to the boss fight. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now entered the boss fight. This is like the original Capture the Flag, but in the zombie mode. While going through the first phase, an elite zombie will spawn. You need to kill that zombie that will drop a flag. Pick up the flag and then take it to the lit up circle to charge it. When it is charged, you are immune from zombies from entering and the dragon spitting fireballs at you. But also, while you're in the circle, your damage doubles in the first phase. So in this, make sure you kill the elite zombie, charge it up, do as much damage until you hit the second phase. Also, a tip as well, when you are out of the phase, there is no point of shooting the dragon while it's flying around because it does no damage whatsoever. So second phase is 2 elite zombies will spawn in. You need to kill them, and each of the 2 lit up circles, you need to charge up the flags. Either circle you could be in, your damage will triple to keep damaging the dragon while in there until you are literally on the third phase. 3 elite zombies will spawn in. You need to kill them, and of course, repeat capturing the flag, charging up the circles, and then literally on the last circle, you need to put all your damage into that dragon. And it seems like it's actually, so it's like 4 times the damage as well in that last phase. Be careful when running around as well, because zombies will spawn in, a lot of them. The dragon will fire lava balls at you, and the volcano will also erupt, throw things onto the map, so be careful. You have completed Kowakujo Easter egg with its very simple guide. It is a very tedious map. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit the like button and subscribe, and please share this to your friends. It will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.